Hi everyone, today we're going to do 3.3 Bill of Rights. This is how you are going to set up your notebook. The objective for today is by the end of class you will be able to explain how the Bill of Rights ensured the ratification of the U.S. Constitution. And ratification means to pass. So last lesson we talked about writing the Constitution. Today we're going to talk about how they got that Constitution to pass. We're going to focus on the Federalists and those supporters, the Anti-Federalists and those supporters, and the Bill of Rights today. So Federalists versus Anti-Federalists. Who are they? What were they for? We'll come back to this political cartoon again at the end, but I thought it was pretty cute. The new government. The U.S. Constitution needed to be ratified by 9 of the 13 colonies. So in order to do that, you had to get people to agree. Now, we had a group of people called the Federalists, and that group favored the new Constitution. So they supported it and what it said. And they supported the balance of power between the states and the national government. Some of its major supporters were George Washington, James Madison, and Alexander Hamilton. The second group, the Anti-Federalists, opposed a strong central government. They worried about the lack of protection for individual rights, so your rights as a person. And their supporters were Patrick Henry, Samuel Adams, and Richard Henry. So what happened? Well, so we have our Anti-Federalist here. Our Anti-Federalist is saying a Bill of Rights protects people no matter what class or situation. And here we have our Federalist who says you don't need it because you already have all of those rights. So the Federalists believe that those rights were protected already under the Constitution. But they came up with a compromise. They said, okay, if it makes you happy and you will vote with us, we will add it. And so what is it that they added? Well, they added the Bill of Rights. That's what they added in order to, that was their compromise, that was their promise. So the ratification happened when the Bill of Rights were added. Anti-Federalists were worried about a strong central government, and so they demanded the Bill of Rights. Why are the Bill of Rights so important? Because the Federalists promised the Bill of Rights, which led us to the ratification of the Constitution. It's hard to say if they did not add this, if the Constitution would have been ratified as it was prior. Important to know that Rhode Island was the last state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. It did take a few years before all the states did finally ratify. And the other thing of why the Bill of Rights are important is because they do protect your individual rights, and we've seen them to be extremely important as we've moved throughout the years. The Supreme Court has done multiple cases on the protection of your Bill of Rights. Here is an example of the simplified version of the Bill of Rights, all 10 of them. You have your first, freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. You have the right to keep and bear arms in order to maintain a well-regulated militia. No quartering of soldiers, freedom from unreasonable search and seizures. You have the right to due process of the law, freedom from self-incrimination and double jeopardy. That's where you get I plead the fifth. 6, rights of the accused persons. You have a right to speedy and public trial. You have a right to the trial by jury in civil cases. You have freedom from excessive bail, cruel and unusual punishments. And then you have other rights of the people. This one's kind of a general one, a catch-all. And then finally, powers reserved to the states. So these are your simplified Bill of Rights. You are going to want to have them written down and know what they are.